how can I determine slope and if lines are parallel or perpendicular? We're going to mainly focus on determining slope. There's three main ways: from a graph, a table, ordered pairs, and I'll also show you how to pull out a slope if you have a word problem or a situation in context. So from a graph, what you do is you identify two easy points to work with. On this graph, I have this point down here, 0, comma, -2, and this point up here, 2, comma, 3. So I have these are the points I would use. To figure it out, you have to use rise over run. And I say, how far up do I go? In this case, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I go up 5. So it will be 5 over, and I go over 1, 2, 2. So my slope is 5 over 2. That's the slope on this graph. From a table, you have x and y. You really got to think change in x, which is indicated with a delta symbol, over change in y. And so my change in y over change in x. So my change in x goes 2, 4, 6. It's plus 2 every time. It's the same thing every time in this table. My change in y goes 10, 20, 30, so it's plus 10. So I would put that as 10 over 2, which equals 5. So in this case, my slope is 5. If I have ordered pairs, there's a formula where you have x sub 1 and y sub 1 is one ordered pair. The second ordered pair is x sub 2 and y sub 2. So you have two coordinates from a graph. You can do y2 minus y1. So in this case, I would do 7 minus 5, 7 minus 5, all over x2 minus x1, which would be 8 minus 4. Once I set this up, I simply need to subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2, 8 minus 4 is 4, 2/4 is my slope, which could be simplified to 1/2. So my slope for these ordered pairs is 1/2. Say I have a word problem. Shia earns $15 an hour for babysitting her brother Isaac and gets a $25 tip. You would want to set up like a linear equation or maybe some kind of an expression for this. And in this case, I would say y equals 15 an hour, where x is the number of hours, so 15x plus 25. To determine the slope, you use the form y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope. So we just take this here, from slope-intercept form, and we know that the slope is 15. And that's how we figure out the slope. If this was a line, would be 15. Now, parallel and perpendicular. So parallel slopes just mean they're equal. So if I determine that the slope of a line, whether I'm using a table, a graph, ordered pairs, if I determine the slope of the line is, say, 5, and I find another line that has a slope of 5, those are going to be parallel lines because they have the same slope. Perpendicular slopes, though, would be opposite reciprocals. So if I had a slope of 15, I take the reciprocal, which would be 1/15, and the opposite, which would be -1/15. Say I had a slope of 1/2. The opposite reciprocal for a perpendicular line would be -2 over 1 or -2. And that would be how you find the perpendicular slopes.